So basically how our structure of the trading works is we're going to trade around this time between 9 and 11, just because it overlaps two sessions. So the London session and the New York session. The New York session just opened. So that's why it's going to be the most volatility. So most movement during this time between, anywhere from 9 to 11. Okay. So that's why we're going to be trading around this time. If you can or cannot make it, that's okay. But basically what I wanted to show you guys is please download the SwipeCoin app. It's on Google Play and the Apple Store. And basically yesterday, the trade idea, Bitcoin to the USD, made 2,500 points. So even on the smallest account, anyone would have made $25 on that. Okay. And then you could have made all the way up to $2,500 per point. Okay. So just keep that in mind, that please always stay signed into your SwipeCoin app. The other thing is, if you don't have the app open, you can actually always go to the website as well, myswipecoin.im, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second. But yeah, always be keep your Telegram open and add yourself to the DCX SwipeCoin Telegram, which I will send to you guys in the Nigerian Telegram chat. Okay, and that way, you have that Telegram chat and also DeFi Mike Sotero's chat, because he also sends out project ideas or leverage ideas, so that you guys can look at it. So let's just say, you forgot to stay signed into your SwipeCoin app, right? Then at least the Telegram chat will remind you, hey, go check your SwipeCoin or your myswipecoin.im. And then that way you'll know to take the trade. So I'll actually show you that trade setup from yesterday. But basically how our structure works is this, okay? So I always like to start with, checking the currency strength meter, right? And as I mentioned the other day, we want to make sure that we're refreshing this currency strength meter, every 5 to 10 minutes, right? Because it's always changing. So to kind of recap, how this currency strength meter works. So please make sure, number one, that you've bookmarked this, livecharts.co.uk. I'll resend that into the chat box, so that you guys have it. And then basically how you look at a currency strength meter is this. Okay. The first thing you want to look at is the euro or the USD, just because, or the GBP, right? Just because right now, these are the sessions that are in session, right? And these are the ones that are overlapping. I'm not going to look at the Australian or the Japanese yen right now, just because it's not in session, right? You want to make sure that you are trading in session, because what could happen is, let's just say you're in a trade that is potentially going for a buy, but the next day something happens with the news or for whatever reason, it could go the wrong way. So just be very careful with that. So let's just say, as an example, we're trading the euro to the USD. Okay. What happens here is that because the euro, the first pair, is bigger than the second pair, which is the US dollar, it's more likely a buy in this case, right? So that's just one indicator to help you look during your setups, right? You can also look at tradingview.com. It's free, and it'll help you indicate, which way the market is potentially going. Okay. Then it's the opposite. Yes, go ahead. Oh, okay. And then if it's the opposite, if it's the US dollar to the Australian dollar, right? Because, for example, if the first pair is smaller than the second pair, which is the Australian dollar, then it's more likely a sell. Okay. And then the final example would be the New Zealand dollar to the Canadian dollar. Okay. Just because they're both the same amount, 4 bars each, then it's more likely a sell. Okay, if they're even. Then the next thing that you want to do is go to the Forex factory. Okay, Again, I'm going to drop that in the chat if you don't have it already. So basically what you want to do here, you can see right now, currently it's 9:08 based on the Forex Factory. It's right here at the top. So in about 7 minutes, right? I'll answer that question in a second, Sola. In 7 minutes, the British pound, there's going to be a news. Wait until after 7 minutes before you take any trade with the British pound. Okay. In terms of the rationale for buying or selling, you want to make sure that you're buying or selling the right thing, right? Because, you know, if you think it's going for a sell, but the currency strength meter is indicating a buy, you're going to lose. Okay. So this is just one indicator. It's not, you know, the end all be all, but it's going to tell you that, hey, if you're looking at the euro pair to the US dollar as an example, it's most likely going to be a buy or on an uptrend. Okay. This is something that you're going to learn in the academy. Okay. So, you know, log in, save your information, right? And then you would go to your academy, right? These are 2 to 10 minute videos that you can look at. Okay. And whatever, you know, academy you have, you just click on it and then you go step by step, you know, the history of Forex, all that kind of stuff, what is traded. So to answer your question, you know, what is the rationale for buying or selling? There's no rationale, right? It's just, you know, it's based on how the market's moving. And this is something you're going to learn over time. Your eye is just going to catch on to, hey, it's more likely a buy, but the currency strength meter is helping you determine, okay, are we going for a buy or are we going for a sell, right? It's just kind of like the more evidence you have, the more likely it is for you to take that trade. Okay. And then later on, we're going to be talking about the DeLorean app, and that's going to help you really understand, okay, you know, I understand that this is going to be a sell. So anytime you see a green or blue arrow, it's a buy. Okay. Anytime you see a red arrow, it's a sell. So again, this is going to come with time. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I don't understand the rationale or the reason why we're buying or selling. The currency strength meter is just one of many pieces of evidence that you're going to need. The more pieces of evidence that you have, right? So for example, you know, this is just one piece of evidence, right? But, you know, then you start looking at the trading view. If it's telling you the same thing about Euro USD, that it's on an uptrend, then there's evidence number 2, right? And then obviously we want to look at the news too, to make sure that, you know, it doesn't affect our trade. Okay. And then the other thing that you can look at too is the harmonic scanner. Just give me a second here. So how the harmonic scanner works is this, okay? I like to do the 15-minute time frame. So every candle that you see will be 15 minutes, right? And you guys can see here, you know, the blue arrow indicates a buy, right? This is artificial intelligence that it's telling you that it's a buy market, okay? So to answer your question, I'm going to find the Euro USD to give you, okay, so Euro USD is here, okay? So you can kind of see here, Sola and company, that when D is at the bottom, it's indicating a buy. So going back to the currency strength meter, right? The Euro was bigger than the USD. So that to me, I'm already thinking, okay, this is a potential buy. And then what happened, right? Back here, you know, it hit the buy, right? Look at this. It hit all 3 take profits, right? Because during this swing here, right, you can see here that there's a blue arrow again. And it went up and hit all 3 take profits, right? So what happens is anytime you guys see these green numbers here, right? You want to look at the first green number, 1.135. Okay. Hang on here. Okay, just please don't unmute yourself. I'll answer questions after. Basically, when D is at the bottom, you want to enter as close to this as possible. So this happened today, about give or take 7 hours ago, right? But that's okay, because if it comes back to the 1.135, this green number here, then you can re-enter and go for a buy again. Then these take profits, these blue numbers are your take profits. So what you would do, right, is you would go to your MetaTrader 4 app and you would enter the red number as your stop loss and the blue numbers as your take profit. So what I want us to do right now is to practice this. Okay. We're not going to take this trade because it's already hit all of our targets, but we're going to look at other setups. And to tell you guys here, anything that's at the top of the list is the most recent and up-to-date trade. Okay. So you can see here, the New Zealand dollar to the US dollar. Okay. I want you guys right now to type in the chat what the stop loss is and what the take profits are. Remember, the stop loss is your red number and your take profit is your blue number. Don't worry about the flashing one right here. Focus on the ideal goal number 1, ideal goal number 2, and ideal goal number 3. So I want each of you to type in the chat box what you see as your stop loss, which is your red number, and then your ideal goal 1, 2, and 3. I want to make sure that you guys are understanding what is going on right now. So please type in the chat what the stop loss and the take profits are. Correct? Stop loss is 0.854. What is your ideal goal number 1? So ideal goal number 1 is the same as your take profit. Okay, take profit number 1. Please type that in the chat. That's right. Correct. So basically, this harmonic scanner, always go to this first. Okay. And here's the thing, you want to enter as close as possible. So like I said, anything at the top of the list is the most up-to-date thing. Okay. So in this case, whenever D is at the top, it's always a sell. When D is at the bottom, it's always a buy. Okay. And like I said, it just comes with practice. So now what you would do is anything that's highlighted. So in this case, it's NZD to the CAD. Okay. So right now, what you would do is you would go to your MetaTrader 4 and you would see your list and you would find NZD CAD. Okay. So I'll do this with you guys, NZD CAD. So basically, I'm uploading my MetaTrader 4 and I'm finding NZD CAD on my massive list. Okay. NZD CAD. Okay. Here it is. NZD CAD. Okay. You see that there? So NZD CAD, and then you would press trade. Okay. You see the red thing. So right then and there, right, my stop loss, see here, stop loss and take profit, right? So to help you indicate something for a second here, 0.01 is the smallest size lot that you can have, right? So most people with a $50 account, you should only be trading on a 0.01 lot size, which means every point is worth 10 cents. Okay. So, but once you get a higher amount, that's when you can up that to 0.1 and 1, which is a standard. So let's just say this hit 250 pips or points. If you were on a standard, you would be making $250 per point. Okay. But right now, most people are going to be making 10 cents per point. Okay. So what you would do now is you would enter, right, as Sola typed in the chat, 0.85416, right? So let's do that together. 8.85416. Okay. So my first number is in there for your stop loss. Okay. Then the next thing you want to do is enter your first take profit or first ideal goal, right? So that is 0.85187. Okay, you want to do at least 5 numbers. So here in this case, you're looking at 0.85187. Okay, so now you're in the trade, right? You see your stop loss and your take profit, right? And as I said earlier, you know, your D is at the top, so you're going to go for a sell. In this case, you press the red button, okay? So I've pressed it and I'm in the trade now, okay? So that's kind of basically how the harmonic scanner works, okay? Let's do another example. The odd USD. And remember to always refresh your thing. So odd USD, it's most likely a sell as well, based on, and because look at this, sorry, odd USD, right? Remember when I said this, if the US dollar is smaller than the Australian dollar, it's most likely a sell. And if you look at the harmonic scanner, right? Hold on, let's move this over. There we go. Look at this, D is at the top for a sell, right? So to answer your question, Sola, that's the rationale, right? So the currency strength meter told me, hey, it's most likely a sell, okay? And right now the harmonic scanner is telling me the same thing, right? It's telling me that, hey, D is at the top. And as we got mentioned before, when D is at the top, it's for a sell. So again, I want you all to enter, sorry, yeah, I'll enter these things down. Yeah, so basically, I want you guys to, again, put, you know, what pair are we looking at? So you can see up here, this is the pair that you're looking at, odd USD. Try always being on the 15-minute time frame. So please, one of you or all of you enter the stop loss and the ideal goal number 1. Okay. And then we can again practice using our MetaTrader 4 app. So what are we looking at for the stop loss here? What's our stop loss here, guys? Yes, that's correct. 0.72762. Correct. Okay. And what is our first take profit or first ideal goal? That's correct. That's correct. Very good. So again, what you would do is you would go back into your MetaTrader 4 app, okay? And you would find the odd USD pair, okay? And so again, you would just go back into your MetaTrader 4 app, okay? And so there's where you would go to find all the different pairs is you go to quotes, okay? You see those 2 arrows there? That's where you would go. And then you would find the odd USD pair. So odd USD. So odd USD is right there. Okay. So you would click on that. Again, it shows up trade chart details. You would press trade. Okay. So press trade, and then you would enter 0.725 as your stop loss and 0.721 as your take profit. And then because D is at the top, you'd be pressing the red button for a sell. Okay. You guys with me still? Just say yes or drop a 1 if you're still with me. Awesome. Great. So basically, the harmonic scanner, especially for any new person, is your best friend. Okay. It's about 80–85% accurate. So yes, you might have some losses. Yes, you might have some wins, right? It's just part of trading. Okay. This is why proper risk management is super, super important. Okay. What do I mean by proper risk management? Okay. Yeah, so sometimes it could be going the wrong. So if you look at this trade right now, right? It hasn't really made its move. It's very brand new. What did you mean by you can't see this thing on MetaTrader? So on MetaTrader, let me look at it for a second. So you guys are talking about this chart here, right? That guys, what you guys are talking about?
Yeah, exactly. From me, I'm not saying that.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Okay. What do you mean by you can't see this thing on MetaTrader? I'm not understanding.
How it's set up was I can't see the data. Is it chart or what's it called?
It should be under trade, right? Like, so here, you would click on whatever pair you want to do, right? You would click on odd USD and this should pop up, trade, chart, or details. Okay, you would press trade. Does that make sense? Right, so you'd press trade and then this is what should pop up. Okay, and that's where you would enter your stop loss and your take profit. And then, like I said, you can see that. Okay. Yeah, so that's why you need to use Prosperity, or any broker that works in Nigeria, and then you would just connect it. You can have a demo account right away, and I can hop on a call with you guys after. But basically, that's how the harmonic scanner works. So I usually like to use this, especially as a new person. It helps you really understand, how to enter a trade, how to put it into the MetaTrader 4, and then helps you understand to look at the currency strength meter to, have that understanding. Okay, am I looking for a buy or a sell? And then the harmonic scanner. If it's harmonic scanner is telling you the same thing, then okay, I'm reading the chart, the currency strength meter correctly, right? And then, okay, so let me refresh this as well. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be looking at is in about 20 minutes, right? So we don't want to touch anything in the US dollar for the next probably about hour, just because there's going to be a lot of folders that are indicated. A red folder is very, very, very dangerous. That can really, really fluctuate your trade. So between 2:30 and 3 earlier today, I would have not have took anything in the USD pair until all those news are released. Okay. Yeah. So then the final thing I wanted to show you guys before I open it up is yesterday, this was sent out on the Swipecoin app. So for those of you who were missed it, please always make sure that you're signed into your Swipecoin app and also be in the Telegram group chat. I have dropped that in our Nigerian Telegram chat. So please add yourself to the DCX Swipecoin Telegram chat and DeFi Mike Sotero's chat so that you're always up to date just in case for whatever reason your Swipecoin app signed you out, right? So basically, here, the educator would have sent you this signal, right? They tell you the different zones to enter. So I'll kind of show you guys. Okay, here we go. Normally there's notes on like where to enter and stuff like that, but basically you would have entered around 41521. Okay, that would be your stop loss. Sorry, your stop loss because it's red, right? And then your take profits would have been 42,000, 43,000, and 44,000. It hit all three take profits yesterday. So all you have to do is the exact same thing as a harmonic scanner, where as soon as you get that notification, try and enter as close to getting that signal as possible. If it's been a couple hours, you still might be okay, but it might have already hit some of your take profits. So you would just move the stop loss up. And this is again something you're going to learn. But basically here, you would go to Bitcoin, US dollar, right, in your MetaTrader 4 app. And then from there, you would enter 41521 as your stop loss, and then 42,000 as your first take profit. And in this case, because the green arrow is going up, then you're going for a buy. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So basically, what happens is you would go to Prosperity you just type in Prosperity FX. Okay. Then you just click, the top one. This one is really good because it gives you the best kind of like spreads or odds kind of thing. So you'll get the biggest payouts and stuff like that. So what happens here now is you would go to sign up here. Okay. So you click sign up. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, obviously you would enter all your information, then they'll send you a verification email. And then you have to send in a couple documents. So proof of ID, so government issued ID, passport, all that kind of stuff to prove that you're a real person and that you're not a robot. Okay. So after you do all this, so, enter your information, make sure whatever information that you enter, it's the same as your passport or government issued ID, because otherwise they'll decline you. Okay. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so that's kind of how you do setting up Prosperity FX. Then what you would do is, let me kind of show you guys on my MetaTrader 4. Okay, so you go, I'll take you step by step again. So you sign into your MetaTrader 4, okay, the app, and then at the bottom there's a settings part with that little wheel looking thing at the bottom right. Okay, you click that. And then all this shows up. Okay. New account, blah, blah, blah. So you click new account. Okay. So there's two things. There's open demo account and log in to your live account. Once you set up your Prosperity FX, you're going to get two accounts. One will be your demo account and the other will be your live account. So basically what happens is, I would highly recommend you guys do this, is make a file with only trading. So like label it trading, whatever you want to do. But basically you're going to get two emails. The first email is just your demo account information. So it's your account number and they give you a password. So this is only for your demo. Okay. But then when you're ready to go live, so that could be a week. For some people, it's a week. Some people it's 2 weeks. Some people it's a month. Okay. After that, you're going to get a second account. Okay. What happens there? A new account number and a new password, right? That's the one that you would use to do live trading. If you're still like, oh, I don't know, I'm not entirely comfortable, you can always flip back to your demo, right? Just to practice, right? So kind of like to summarize everything, I always go through the currency strength meter and the Forex factory first. Then I go to Harmonics and take a few trades, right? 9 a.m. So 3 p.m. Nigerian time is usually the best time. Between 3 and 5 Nigerian time is the best time to kind of, start these trades. Okay. And then I go to Swipecoin to see if there's anything. And another thing I wanted to show you guys as well is using the Swipecoin scalper. Okay. So I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. So basically, again, you would log in. Please make sure that you save all your passwords. It's the exact same username and password for all of your stuff. So your im.center, your Harmonics, and your MySwipecoin, they're all the same username and password, and the same for your apps. Okay. And basically, what this is telling us here is this, right? I'm not sure why it's in. Okay. So here it's telling us, so you guys see this like big, thick, beige looking thing, right? So that's around 42,000. You can kind of see the gray number to the right. 42,557. Okay. So basically this little bubble here, right? It's telling us that if this, let me zoom in a bit. If this green candle right here, see how they're telling you the arrow here, right? If this green candle closes above this pink looking structure, that's when you'd go in for a buy. Okay. And you guys can see here that, look, it hit your buy. So look at this. Let me put this for you. Okay. So you would have entered around here and it's now hit. Okay, so you would have made about 500 points on that alone. And even trading at 50 or sorry, 10 cents a pip, you would have made $50 on this trade. Okay. And this is something that the educators are sending out to you, right? Sorry, you would have made $5 on this trade, but still, you know, it's amazing that you would have made $5 just because of the educator, right? So how this works is you always want to have, I don't know if you guys can, sorry, if you guys can see, there's a ratio, risk to reward ratio, 3.25, right? So what you would do, and I'll show you guys how to do this, but basically how this works is that, you know, you guys can see here, there's like a 3 looking lines here. So I'm going to delete this so that you guys I can show you guys. So what you do is you click this and it tells you long position, short position. Right now, we're going for a long position because you're going for a buy. Okay. A short position would be for a sell. Okay. And this is something you're going to learn in the academy. But basically, what I wanted to show you guys is you would, in this case, you would actually set up your own stop loss because the educators have told you, you know, where to enter, which is right here and the bubble. And then you're like, so here I would have entered here, right? At this blue arrow here. Okay. So I would have took a long position here and I would have put it here. So basically, you know, I've seen it. You guys can see to the left here that there's some candles. So I would have put it, you know, probably halfway down this blue candle here. Okay. And then, like I said to you guys, you want to have a ratio of at least 2-to-1, right? So, you know, I would have dragged it up until I saw 2. Okay. So your risk to reward right now is 2-to-1. Okay. So you see here that it tells you 43087 as your take profit. Okay. And then your stop loss is here at 42,367. So what we'll do is on another separate call, we can practice this and how to, I'll get each one of you to be a host and kind of practice how to do this because hands-on is the best way to learn. Okay. In my opinion, you learn first and then you learn by applying even better. Right. So we'll do this on another call, but I kind of wanted to show you guys how the scalper works. Okay. Any questions?
Yes, I wasn't done with my own.
Sorry?
I was not done with my own. I'm still on. So I still ask some questions. I'm not done with my questions.
Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
So this scalper, what does it really mean?
So the scalper,
what does it do?
Yeah, great question. So I'll go back to sharing my screen. So basically the scalper is what this is an app that's going to help you guys, especially new people, really, it's basically giving you like a free trade, right? So, you know, let me kind of, so basically see this bubble here, right? Sola. So basically they're trying to help you, hey, you know, based on our research and knowledge, because these guys have been doing this for years. They're millionaire, billionaire educators. So they know what they're doing. So basically, this educator has told us, okay, around this pink zone, if, sorry, I'm going to delete this. If this green candle closes above this pink zone, then you know that you're ready to go for a buy in the Bitcoin USD app. Does that make sense so far, Sola?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so basically, ideally, you want to enter as close to the zone as possible, because, you know, keep in mind too, guys, that, you know, this could come back down, right? Back to the zone. Okay. But then if it breaks again above this pink zone, so just pretend that this imaginary line goes all the way here, right? If it comes back down and it closes again above, it could be going back up, because the thing is, with the market, it only moves in two directions, right? Goes up or down, right? And history always repeats itself when it comes to the markets, right? So if you see it come back down to the zone, right, be prepared for another buy, okay? And these bubbles will show up, and usually there's also arrows. See, I'll show you guys, right? Let me zoom in a bit. So you guys saw here that they showed you a red arrow, right? Over here, they showed you a blue arrow, right? And it went up. They showed you a red arrow, didn't really do what it was supposed to do, right? But, you know, and it always doesn't, you know, these are kind of just indicators of like potentials. But look at this red arrow right here, boom, all the way down here, red arrow, boom, blue arrow, boom. So anytime you see a red arrow, so a little tip for you guys, okay? So you guys can see here, let me just move this back. So every candle that you see represents 15 minutes, okay? 1-5. Anytime you see a blue arrow, okay, you want to get into the entry as close as possible. So here's the best part about DCX and HFX. They kind of intertwine each other. Okay, what do I mean by that? So if you see a blue arrow, right, in HFX, which is binary trading or fast-paced trading, right? Like I said, every candle is 15 minutes. So anytime you see an arrow, okay, the rule of thumb is this, is that you want to be in profits in 3 candles or less. So 15 minutes times 3 is 45 minutes, okay? So you want to be in profits in 45 minutes. In this case, it'd be 1, 2, and 3. You were in profit, okay? So it's the same idea here, right? You see this red arrow, 1, 2, and 3. It closed below that red arrow, you're good, right? Let me show another example, right? This blue arrow, 1, 2, 3, you're still in profit, right? So if you're not in profits in 3 candles or less, you want to pause that trade or take a break from the trade, okay? So basically, to go back to the scalper, right, you just want to utilize this bubble here, okay, or these arrows. So it's going to come practice over time. Every day, it's going to be the exact same structure as what we did today. We're going to look at the currency strength meter. We're going to look at the news. Then we're going to look at this harmonic scanner and this scalper as well. That's always going to be the system. I'm very methodical and systematical when it comes to my trading. Okay. So boom, 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 and boom. Okay. Are we making sense so far?
Definitely. Yeah. So
Okay.
now, what
Go ahead.
I'm saying is, why do we have to be using the scalper?
So the scalper, it's like a
which one do we have to introduce to us, like checking the Forex Factory, the live and the harmonics, and as opposed to this coin, this scalper, which one do you think we should start with?
So to start, you always, no matter what app you're using, no matter what educator you're with, you always use your currency strength meter and the Forex factory. Always. It's like mandatory, right? It's like a requirement. Okay. It's like when you go to school, these are the requirements to enter this program. You want the currency strength meter and the Forex factory always. That is the number one thing you want to do before you take any trade. Okay. Another thing too, another tip, if you're having a bad day, do not trade, please, or wait until you're in a better frame of mind. Okay. And then the other thing too is that, so the difference between the harmonics and the scalper is this. The harmonics is for Forex and the scalper is for crypto, right? And you guys can see here, there's only two cryptos that we really trade, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. So that's really, this zone thing is just to kind of give you an idea of, you know, how to do that kind of thing. So it's kind of like the harmonics, but except for crypto. Okay. And then, yeah, so I'll show you pocket option. I'm just going to flip over to another account right now, just because my fiance